What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a little different. I just get home from regionals, and I wanted to make a video talking about what happened in the finals. Because I know a lot of people might not be aware, and I kind of wanted to give my, I don't know, I posted about it a little bit on Twitter. But I wanted to go a bit more in depth on it and just kind of give my full perspective and kind of, I don't know, give some give perspective on my opinion on what happened. So before I get into this, the most important thing to me here is that I don't want to take anything away from Andrew. Andrew, so for those of you who don't know, I finished second at Collinsville, and there was a bit of a situation in the finals, but Andrew played very, very well. He 100% deserves the win, and I don't want this to seem like I am taking anything away from him, or I don't think he deserved the win, because that's not the case at all, right? Like, after the finals, like, I was, like, before I heard about what had happened, before I realized what had happened, like, I was like, upset that I had lost, but I felt like Andrew deserved to win. Like, I wasn't upset with how the games played out. Like, it was a tough match for me, and he played really well, so I don't want to take anything away from him, and that's really not my angle here, but I kind of feel like what happened in the finals deserves to be talked about. So, what am I talking about, right? For those of you who don't know, so I have up here the VOD from Pokemon. So this is the final match. So the first thing you want to note is that I have the timestamp here set to the beginning of the game. It's at 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 58 seconds, right? It's a little bit after this. He sends out 2 Pokemon. We can look exactly at the time. I send out 2 Pokemon. This is when the timer would start right after the shiny animation, right now. Okay, 7 minutes, 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 7 seconds, right? So the timestamp matters because of what actually played out in the final. As you can see, the game starts here at 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 7 seconds. So I'm going to jump to... The way that it works is, 12 minutes into the battle, what's supposed to happen... Well, sorry, when there's 3 minutes left in the battle, you get a message on screen saying 3 minutes are left in the battle. After 3 minutes, the game will end. What am I talking about here is that there's a game timer on these games. Back in the day, we would have 50 minutes for... Or not back in the day. We used to have a timer like this then. For the last generation, the last 3 years. We had an overall round timer, so one game could take up to 50 minutes. So it would be 50 minutes for the whole round, for the whole best of 3, no individual game timer. And then this year, per the rules document, the individual game timer is now back. So you're supposed to have 15 minutes for each game. So if we think of, okay, 15 minutes, 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 7 seconds, adding 15 minutes, the game would be over at 3:37. Subtracting 3 from that so we can get the 3-minute warning, that's about 3:34. So we're going to jump ahead to 3:34 here. I have 3:34 pulled up. We'll give it a couple seconds just to run out here. So it should be at some point during this turn, essentially, right? We should have 3 minutes left on the timer. You can see we're into this turn. We're like 20 seconds into the turn. And no timer animation has come up, right? And I'm going to spoilers, no timer animation comes up. And the reason for this is that, unbeknownst to any of us, unbeknownst to any, or at least to me and to the majority of the player base, they had, without telling us, without changing the rules document, this is not listed in the rules document, they changed the timer for this tournament and for Oceania Internationals last weekend. We were all playing with the wrong timer. And nobody knew, or I didn't know at least, and I'm going to go ahead and say that the majority of the player base knew. It seems like some people realized after Oceania, but it wasn't talked about, right? And I saw a lot of people who even played at Oceania being like, oh, that explains why I lost, right? It wasn't just for the finals match, it was for the entire tournament. We were playing with the wrong rule set. So, they changed the timer from 15 minutes to 20 minutes, right? And not only did they change the timer, which is not in the rules document, right? No, and they didn't tell anybody, so we didn't know, right? So, why does that matter? So, for this game, right, I am up 4 Pokemon to 2 in this game. Let's see if you can see clearly. I'm up 4 Pokemon to 2, right? I have Rhyperior, Togekiss, Liepard, and Dusclops left. My opponent has Arcanine and Milotic. And I realized at some point, I think a couple minutes before this, that the way that I'm going to win this game is by playing to a timer win, right? My opponent has set up bulky Milotic, but I'm a seasoned VGC player. And I have a good feeling that I can win the game safely on timer without worrying about hypnosis, without worrying about, sleep turns, which are volatile. And I think it's my best bet. So I say, okay, this is my win condition, and I'm playing to it, right? I don't know that the timer's extended for 5 more minutes. So I have a good sense of intrinsic time. I feel like I have enough time. I feel like there's enough time left that I can win this, right? On timer. And I can't play to that, right? But I don't know it. So basically, I lose this game by trying to play to a win condition that I didn't have, right? Because the timer is changed. And I'm not the only set affected by this, right? There were sets, I saw people on Twitter talking about, like, hey, like, that explains a lot. Like, Jake Major, who was a regional champion, he said, hey, like, I lost an important set because of this. I was trying to play the timer, and, like, it didn't work, right? Like I didn't understand why I didn't have enough time. And that explains it, right? I think I saw some other people, I can't remember, somebody else said that it was they're winning in Australia, and they said, like, hey, I lost a win in because the timer was wrong. And so, in this match, right, let's just talk about, because I saw some people say, oh, well, like, he would have lost anyway, like, even with the timer. I don't agree with that personally. With this much time left, like, I mean, I don't know if people really care, but in this position, right, let's watch this turn play out, right? This is the situation. Let's say the 3-minute warning happened at the very beginning of this turn, right? I have 2 minutes and 30, let's say I have, let's see when the turn ends. Okay, I should have roughly 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, right? I have very safe plays to make for the rest of this game. I can, switch Rhyperior into Liepard and sack Liepard. Take 45 seconds. Switch Rhyperior. That's 45 seconds gone. Let's say I have 2 minutes left. And then switch into Liepard, right? Switch Rhyperior into Liepard. Take 45 seconds there, and then there's no more time left in the game because I get to take the last 45 seconds there, and I have just enough time that I can do that, right? As long as the game time is like less than 2. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I definitely have enough time, because I get to watch one more animation, yep. Yeah, so I had a safe win condition from this position, I think, right? Barring maybe a Flare Blitz crit, which I'm not even sure if Flare Blitz crit plus Muddy Water crit would KO Dusclops, but I'm pretty sure that if I have, like, a little bit under 3 minutes left at this point, it would have been close. Okay, it's hard to say, because with critical hits, and it's, like, it's unclear, like, what would happen 100% safely, right? But the thing is that, like, I didn't even get to make this... I didn't even get the chance to play for the win condition, right? So let's say I would have lost anyway. It's almost like I think that I at least had a shot, right? I don't think anyone would argue with me that I at least had a shot. And I personally feel like I haven't gone through and been like, because I don't think that's helpful to me, right? I haven't gone through and been like, I would have won for sure, and here's why, right? Because like the fact of the matter is that I lost, right? And I probably can't, like, that can't really be changed, but it's just frustrating, right? Because my win condition and what I was playing for and the way that I structured my game plan, right? That was all built around a win condition that I did not have available to me, and not only that I didn't have available to me, but I didn't know I didn't have available to me, right? Because nobody communicated. What ended up happening was, to my understanding, instead of playing with the tournament rules, right? Somebody said they played with the Season 3 Battle Spot rules, right? So, I don't know, I haven't checked this myself, I don't know how to check this myself, but, like, basically, what I believe happened is, on Battle Spot right now for Season 3, the timer is 20 minutes, right? Because, you know, that doesn't matter as much, right? It's online ladder. There isn't really anything on the line, right? Like, it's not, the stakes are not as high. But for live events, like, so what did I lose, right? By having the wrong timer, what did this cost me? $1,500, 40 championship points, and like, honestly, what I care about the most is, like, the title, right? Like, if I had won this, I would have been a seven-time regional champion, which is more than anybody else, right, in the Masters division, and that's like a title I care about, right? I had the most regional wins for a long time, and recently Paul Chua caught up to me, and this is my opportunity to pass again, right, to be in the lead, right, and I don't have it, right, and I don't have it because, to a certain extent, like, it's so you like so like. And I got lucky in top forward and finals, and in other parts of the tournament as well, right? In Game 3, I lost maybe because of a Hyper Voice crit, and I'm, like, cool with that, right? Like, I'm super cool with that, right? Like, I was playing with, you know, luck the whole time, like, I got lucky. Like, in-game stuff is one thing, right? You, like, kind of accept that it's part of the game, right? That's why, like, when I lost, I was like, well, if that had gone a little differently, I probably could have won, but that's the game, right? And that's just kind of something you have to accept about it, and... yeah, and that's like, yeah, that's just something that I have come to accept about the game, that there are variances that you cannot control, and that's one thing, right? But to lose because we were playing with the wrong rule set, like, that is not something that I should have to deal with, right? That none of us should have to deal with, right? It's, like, to play an entire tournament with, you know, a lot in the line, right? Like, there have been times where travel awards have been decided by 40 CP, which are thousands of dollars, where a Day 2 Worlds invite has been decided by 40 CP. Like, 40 CP is a lot, right? This isn't insignificant, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is like the third highest level of tournament, right? And, you know, there's stuff on the line, and I don't know, it's really, really, really frustrating to lose, in part because we were playing with the wrong rule set. And okay, let's say that we were playing with the wrong rule set and it could not be changed, right? They should have told us, right? Because if I had known that the timer was 20 minutes, I wouldn't have thrown, like, maybe I would have lost this game anyway, right? Maybe I would have lost this game anyway, sure, right? But I wouldn't have tried to win with a condition I didn't have access to, because I didn't know, right? I didn't know we were playing with a 20-minute timer, because we can't see the timer, right? I don't know, it's super frustrating. It's really, really one of those things where, like, taking nothing away from Andrew. Again, he deserved the win. He is a rightful regional champion. He played really well. I was trying to win with an alternate win condition, right? I'm not taking anything away. I really don't want to take anything away from him, but Andrew aside, right? This isn't about his victory. It's about it's like he won, sure. We're all on the same page here. How I lost was wrong, right? Like, that's, I don't know. It's super frustrating to me, and I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just kind of talking in circles at this point, but it's like, I give a lot to this game, right? Like, I've been playing for 10 years, and it's just frustrating that it's a really frustrating way to lose, right? That's all I want to say about it, I think. Like, I don't know. You could argue that the game would have gone differently. Like, you could even argue probably that I would still lose based on, like, the plays that were made, right? Or based on how much time I had left. I don't know. But it's just such a frustrating way to lose. Because it's like, it feels preventable, right? It feels like this shouldn't, like, I shouldn't, like, no, like, we should be playing with the right rules, right? It doesn't seem, I don't know if it's hard, but it doesn't seem that hard to set up a tournament with the proper rule set. And this impacted the season, right? This could impact Day 2 Worlds. This could impact, like, because it's not just me, right? This isn't just about me personally. Yes, I came up in finals. Like, yes, if we had the proper timer, there's a good chance I could have won with the proper timer. But it's not about me individually. It's about, like, 2 entire tournaments were played with the wrong rule set. I could not have been the only game that was affected by this, right? Like, both of these tournaments might have played out differently if the timer was different, right? And okay, so yeah, so it's like these tournaments and maybe the rest of the season, because Oceania Internationals has 500 championship points on the line. Last year, Day 2 Worlds was about 1,000, so that's like half of a Day 2 Worlds invite, and it's a whole Day 1 Worlds invite, right? So it could, in theory, change the course of that tournament, right? And oh man, I just totally lost my chain of thought. Oh, and it's like, okay, yes, so the tournaments were impacted, but it's like, why did it take the second tournament, me losing in the finals, for us to find out, right? I mean, I assume that people didn't know. That's the only thing I can think. I can assume that tournament organizers just didn't realize it was 20 minutes. I don't know how setting up the tournament works for them. I don't know how you missed this, but, like, I don't know. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that, like, something was weird. Maybe the tournament organizers just, like, are told to use a rule set, and it was like, I don't know. Maybe it was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know how you can miss this, but let's say it makes sense, right? I get that, right? But how am I the first? How is it the second tournament in the finals that we realized, right? That's just what I don't get. That's just what I don't get. Like, because I wouldn't be upset about this if they were like, well, I'd be less upset about this if they said, hey guys, by the way, we're really sorry, we're playing with a 20-minute timer, right? And I say, well, that's lame because, you know, let's say I'm in the middle of this game, I say, well, you know, if we had the proper timer, I could probably win this, but now I have to find another way to win. Like, my brain's going to be thinking of another way to win because I know that I don't have this avenue available to me, right? Instead, I lose the tournament because I'm wasting time on a strategy and brain power on building a strategy that would have at least had a chance at working. Like, it was going to be close, right? And I put myself in that position because I thought I had a win condition available to me that I didn't have. And I'm sure that I'm going to get comments that are like, you deserve to lose because timer stalling is lame! Fine. Timer stalling might be lame, but that doesn't change the fact, first of all, timer stalling is sick, number one. It's not lame. Number two, it doesn't change the fact that, like, this, like, Imagine, it's like the same thing as if they were like, hey, by the way, guys, like, if you lock in a 5th Pokemon, like, you can bring it. Like, it's the same, it's like, it's about communication, it's about rules, right? You can say timer stalling is lame, but, like, imagine it was the reverse and we were playing with a 10-minute timer, right? That's what it's really about here. Like, it's just, like, the lack of transparency in addition to the wrong rules. And the fact that, like, I can't do anything about it, right? Like, this is the only, like, making this video is the only, like, I have no, I don't know, like, there's no avenue, like, for me to communicate, like, hey, this is really messed up. I can submit this report to ticket. Maybe I'm being unfair. I don't know. I'm upset about it, right? Like, this mattered a lot to me, and it's Andrew played very well. I think he deserved to win, 100%. But to lose because you got 3 turn sleep Dusclops game 2 and, you know, crit game 3, fine. 100% fine. Like, I got lucky in top 4. I got some luck in the set. Fine. That's in-game stuff, right? It happens. The game, you know, the game decides. But to lose because the rules are wrong, because you're playing with the wrong rule set, and to lose because there's no communication about it, I hope people just didn't realize, not like they were like, oh, we just won't tell anybody. I assume that nobody realized, because nobody can view the timer. Nobody can view the timer, and that's I don't know. That's dumb. Anyway, that's I think all I want to say. I know I probably repeated myself a lot, but I don't know. It's hard, right? Like, I really wanted to win this one, and I came really close, you know, like, if I'd won this game on timer, like, you know, maybe I should have, whatever. If I let's say I win this game 2 on timer, I would have gone 8-0 in Top Cut. It would have been an extremely dominant performance, right? I would have been the 7-time regional champion. I'd be $1,500 richer. I would have 40 more championship points, and I'd have the title, which is whatever, and I'd have the trophy, right? And that's like a big difference, and it's a lot to lose over something that's completely out of my control. It's not like, well, okay, like, maybe if I build my team better, I wouldn't have, you know, been as weak to Coil Milotic, or like, oh, like, maybe if I exerted more offensive pressure or played differently, I wouldn't have been weak to Crit Sylveon. It's like, oh, maybe if I did nothing else, I could have done nothing because I didn't realize we were playing with the wrong rules, right? It's not at all in my control. Of course, I could have still done, you know, better and not been playing to a timer win condition in the first place, but I don't think that's as fair because I don't know, like, it's like an alternate win condition, and I don't know, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just a viable strategy for winning as winning, like, in a regular thing. Like, I put myself in a position where I had the ability to win the tournament, and I did not win because the rules were wrong. So, I think that's it. I know this is probably a repetitive video, but it's frustrating to me, and I don't know, I'm not, like, emotional about it. Like, I've come to terms with the fact that I lost, right? I think Andrew played very well. I'm glad that if I was gonna, I don't know, like, I'm glad that he played well because it, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, it's like, how do I say it? Andrew played super well, so it like, makes me feel, like, better about losing in a sense, you know? Like, it's like, he deserved the win. That's what I'm saying. I felt like he deserved the win. I felt like he earned it fair and square, and I tried to get it in, like, an alternate win condition, but at least it wasn't, like, a 10-minute timer and I lost because the timer was 10 minutes, you know? Like, which would have been worse, I think, if the whole tournament was 10-minute timer, but that's another story. Though at least then we would have realized, right? Because I'm sure I had games go past 10 minutes. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for this, but that's okay. You get hate for something. So, thanks for watching. This has been WolfGlick, your 2020 Collinsville Regional Championships runner-up, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Goodbye.